desperate and he found Jesus, and that's what really excites me, and I'm sure it's you too. Salt and
Light.
bacon and
Eggs.
Batman and
Robin.
fish and husband and
Wife.
bride and
Groom.
cat and
Dog. Mouse. Mouse.
bread and
Butter.
rock and
Rock and a hard place.
roll. Well, is it each to your own interpretation? Bow and
Arrow.
fork and
Spoon.
this and black and
Blue.
hue and belonging. I'm looking at belonging this morning. In Genesis 2, verse 18. The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a suitable helper." It's not good to be alone. God made us to belong. We need to be belonging people. God also understood psychology way before anyone else had even thought about it. He knew that Adam, he could have just brought animals that had names, but what did he do? He got Adam to name all the animals. What does that do in your psycho? It makes you feel you belong, doesn't it? It makes you feel that, because to have dominion over them, he needed to have named them. If God had produced a tiger and said, "This is a tiger," he wouldn't have had that ownership over it. God could have made it a lot easier if he made us born with our names written on our hand. But one of the things that we do, one of the exciting things, sometimes it's a little bit of tension maybe when you're choosing a child's name, and the importance of it. It's such a big thing, isn't it? You've suddenly got this new life in front of you, and you are going to call it a name that it will have forever. Isn't that incredible? And we are written on his palm of his hand.
Yes.
It brings responsibility and a belonging to. Now, the next time that God brought all the animals together was in the story of Noah. God brought all the animals together. One of the saddest verses in the Bible is Genesis 6:6, where it says that the Lord was grieved that he had made man, and his heart was full of pain. That's got to be one of the saddest verses in the Bible. But we bring him joy. We bring him joy. So Noah didn't belong, did he? The earth was full of unrighteous people. It was a terrible place to be. But Noah was righteous. He did not belong. And so what did God do? He took him out. In verse 9, Noah was a righteous, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. He did not belong to what was happening around him. We can live in the world that we live and not belong. God doesn't actually take us out these days. We have to live, but we are set apart because we belong to God. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to belong. We all need to belong. That's why God put us in families. We all need to belong. Belonging is so important, and God knew it. And God made us that way. Whether it's school, family, home, social, church, work. We all need to fit in and belong. And it can actually change your career if you don't feel you fit in and belong. It's such an important aspect of life, to belong. It's something that really, if you've really belonged somewhere, you understand what I'm talking about. And if you've really not belonged, you understand what I'm talking about. Anyone watch Zootropolis? Yeah, anyone like Zootropolis? It's a good one. It's a good one. Well, Nick, the fox. This is such a sad part. I usually get a few tears with this one because I think we can all identify with belonging and not belonging. We've all felt times when we feel we can fit in and when times that we can't fit in. And here's Nick. And he was a Boy Scout. He dreamt about becoming a Boy Scout. His mum had put all her spare savings into buying him a uniform. And it's mentioned that she sacrificed things to get him a uniform so that he could belong to the Scouts. And what happened when he gets there? It's a terrible, terrible scene. Give it a watch if you haven't watched it. He gets there and they all appear to be friendly, but then they start picking on him, being prejudiced. He's a fox. Foxes tend to eat the animals there. But it was the sense that he was hoping to belong and to be part of a group, to fit in, and he got expelled, he got pushed out in a degrading way. And it's really, really sad. It's really sad, and it's such an important part of life, particularly for children, to feel that belonging. In your family, maybe you didn't feel you belonged. But belonging takes two parties. Sometimes people choose not to belong. It's not just one-sided. You've got to choose to belong. If you come to this church, you can feel that you belong. You don't belong to New Life Church because New Life can't belong to you, if you see what I mean. But you can belong to the family. Belonging is a person thing. It isn't a title. You don't belong to McDonald's because you eat McDonald's. And so it is with church. You belong because there's other people that welcome you, that embrace you, that draw you, that say you are welcome. It's lovely to see you. And again, when visitors come, it's important to have that, let them have that sense of belonging, because it's such a vital part of life. To let growth happen, to let life happen, is that sense of belonging. I've given myself poetic license, I hope. The prodigal son. Did he feel he belonged? Was that what drew him away? Was he tired of listening to his older brother say, in the Jewish tradition, the older brother got the major share of the inheritance? He would have been the younger brother, he would have just had something. Did he not feel he belonged? Perhaps the older brother was forever rubbing it in, and perhaps his father kept saying, son, to the oldest one, all this will be yours and I'm going to teach you how to... And perhaps the younger son didn't really feel he had a part to play. He didn't belong. And so he went looking to belong. He went to the city to find where he belonged. He spent all his money thinking he belonged by groups of people that seemed to accept him, but only accepted him because he had money. And as soon as that was gone, he didn't belong. So he went looking again, and he had to work with pigs. And he realised, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. This is not where I should be. And he realised he did belong at home, although he didn't feel he was worthy of it. Belonging is such an important part of life. What do we do when a child's naughty? What should we do when a husband's naughty? Go to your room. Go to your room. We take them apart, we isolate them, and sometimes that's necessary to get them out of the situation. Perhaps there's times when you need to talk to two people and it's best to separate them. But we send people to, I remember being sent to bed and I skipped tea because I wouldn't say sorry because I wasn't actually at fault. But I did it, that's me. But I refused to say sorry, so I stayed in my bedroom, I missed tea, that was it, I didn't go down until the morning. I was isolated, and what punishments do we do? Big punishments, it's isolation, because it's vital to stop them being friendly with other people, to have relationship. Is punishment, is to keep them separate. Isolation. It seems such a simple thing. And with all the technology and all the stuff that we're given every day, belonging seems quite old-fashioned. And yet, society today is missing that belonging. They're confused about belonging. We said certain things belong together. That's no longer true. You can't say certain things belong together anymore. And that's kind of why a lot of people are finding it hard to find that place where they belong. And I think the band are coming back up.